Hi guys, my name is Racha Raj, and through this video we'll be discussing briefly about the strategies which works wonder for the writing task 1 IELTS general training exam. So let's begin with on the criteria on which you are basically marked by the examiner for the writing task 1. And these are task achievement, coherence and cohesion, lexical resource, grammatical range and accuracy. You need not to worry about these sophisticated and complicated words. I'll make it clear for you that what are you basically supposed to write in order to get your desired band score. Before beginning the highlights for the writing task 1, I once again like to mention that yes, I ended up scoring the amazing score in my 8th attempt. Until my 7th attempt, I was not at all aware of the basic strategies which really worked for IELTS exam. And these strategies are hidden in this band descriptors. Yes, I was not aware about it. So let's look upon the conservative band score, that is 7, and it is pretty much required for the immigration purposes, and even many universities or college consider the 7 band in writing a pretty good score. Let's see what a band descriptor says about the 7 band score for the writing task 1. For the general training, you need to represent a clear purpose along with a tone which is consistent and appropriate for the letter. As we all know, there are broadly 3 types of letters: formal, informal, semi-formal. While understanding the question, you'll actually get a hang on it that which tone is apt for which type of letter. And if you haven't started practicing, then don't worry about it. After writing 2 or 3 letters and proofreading your own letter will give you a good enough experience on that. And then you need to clearly present the information given in the letter, supported by the examples, imagination, and other information. Next comes the logical flow of the ideas. For example, if I'm asked to write a letter about the lost object, then my natural flow would be that I'll start the essay by introducing myself and give the background on the reason why I am writing the letter, giving the details how I lost the object and what action I took already. And in the last, I'll mention what I am expecting the respective authority or the organization to do in the same regard. So I guess this is the pretty much natural flow of ideas. Apart from that, whatever information is given in the question, you can include that to make it more strong, powerful, attractive for the examiner. Also, you need to use the range of cohesive devices, and you are allowed to have some mistakes. I mean, it's okay for the 7 band users to have some under or over usage of the cohesive devices. I'll be discussing the usage of cohesive devices in a while. Now, let's look upon the range of the vocabulary you are required to use. You need not to worry once again on cramming up the sophisticated and the difficult words. My suggestion is know your strengths, make the list of the words or mark the words which you are comfortable in using it, and practice in using the similar or the synonym words for the same. The use of the similar and the synonym words also represents that you are aware of wide range of words. Also, herein you are also at liberty to make couple of errors in terms of word choice, spelling, and around word formation. Not one or two errors in each, but in total in this category. And lastly, you should use variety of complex structures. I personally believe at least 2 in each body paragraph. Don't make mistakes, and yes, if you show that you can use different structures, then they'll actually ignore few of your mistakes and will mark you on 7 band. Now, for cohesive devices and complex structures, I have made this exhaustive list. Try using 1 or 2 in each body paragraph and you're good to go. For example, while giving examples, these 2 have always been my favorite. For example, for instance, for adding information, I used also, moreover, besides. I practiced in a way that as and when I write a letter on an essay, I always make it a point to mention any of these while stating my ideas. For summarizing, you can use any of these. Sequencing ideas, I use these always. Giving a reason, because of, these are my favorite. Giving a result, as a result, this means that. Contrasting ideas. This sheet is available to you and you can actually dig in on the details of the different bands. And now let's focus on the strategy which I used, which not only did wonder for me but also few of my friends. And I made it a point to write a letter in a way which has a perfect greeting, start, explain, close, greet strategy. I need to have the perfect greeting in the starting. Many a times the letter itself mentions a greeting. If it's not there, then you need to write it yourself. You need to have a perfect starting paragraph by having a perfect introduction of you and creating a background on what you're writing. Then explain the letter by using the bullet points given in the question. Then have your closing statement, read it at the end, and you're good to go. Yes, guys, till my 7th attempt, I really struggled at 6.5 in both my writing and speaking. And I was not at all aware of these strategies. And when I got to know these strategies, you won't believe that my score jumped from 6.5 to 7.5 in a single attempt. I use the same vocabulary. I use the same complex structures. The only thing which I improvised on, the use of the right strategy, so that I'm not missing anything and the examiner is impressed enough to give me at least 7 band. And even as I already mentioned, I really did share these strategies with my friends and they also ended up getting the desired score, which was at least 7. So let's look upon the writing task 1. The weightage for the writing task 1 on the entire band for the writing section is only 33%. So you should spend only 15 to 18 minutes in writing, highlighting, understanding the question, including your proofreading. That's it. I strongly recommend on that. And the structure is, you need to have introduction paragraph, body paragraphs 1 to 2, closing paragraphs. The number of the body paragraphs entirely depend upon the kind of information you are looking for, and in case you are falling back in your word limits in the introduction paragraph, then you can expand it by writing the 2 body paragraphs. And yes, more importantly, you should not exceed 180 words. Guys, you are only scored over those 4 criteria which we already discussed. If you're going to write your letter for 200 to 300 words, then it will only amplify your scope for mistakes. With these number of words, you can actually write a very good letter and can impress the examiner and can achieve at least 7 band in your writing score. Then comes the right choice of greetings. Here are basically 4 types which I have always used. You can obviously change the name depending upon the question, and yours sincerely, best wishes, best regards, yours faithfully, depending on the letter, followed by your name in the end. Also, don't mention your address. It's already given in the question, but also I'm highlighting as it's the common query for many aspirants. Now let's look upon the sample question. I have taken a very simple formal letter followed by my type of answer. The question is, you have been invited to attend an interview for a place studying in course or college. Unfortunately, because of previous appointment, you cannot come. So write a letter to the tutor and explain your position. And these are the supporting ideas which you can use, which you should use and explain and mention it in the letter. You are apologizing and asking for how long the interview will be and whether there will be any test during it. So these are the word limits, and you do not require to write your address. Then here is the answer. Dear sir, perfect greeting in the starting. Then my introduction paragraph, wherein I am thanking for the letter dated 15th May, inviting me for the interview at your college on this date and time. So guys, yes, it is right. It really gives a very strong and powerful impression on the examiner because you are using your imagination and vocabulary by filling in the missing details and making the letter more specific for that particular cause. I know it arises many of the candidates that whether we can use it or not, but guys, you can actually use it. I'm extremely sorry, but I'm unable in the body paragraph. Now I'm taking the support of the ideas already given in the question and explaining it further using complex sentences and simple vocabulary. I'm extremely sorry, but I'm unable to come because I have the maths morning exam that morning. I really cannot miss the exam. I am highlighting the sense of urgency in that letter, that why I missed the interview, because I was not in a position to compromise with my maths exam. Again, I'm using my imagination. So is it possible that I could come to the interview the same day, but this afternoon, failing that I'll be able to? So again, I'm explaining the information, paraphrasing the information given in the question. Again, in the next body paragraph, I'm highlighting the information given in the letter and making the body para looked very nice and apt according to the letter. Then this is my favorite closing statement. I have used it in every second letter, but obviously you can use it too, but take care of the kind of the letter or the type of the letter you are writing in. And in the last, my perfect ending greeting, yours sincerely, Richa. A quick recap on the important takeaways: that yes, you can use the information to fill in the gaps and make the letter more specific. And on the number of body paragraphs, it can be 1 or 2 depending upon the type of question. You need to fill in your words limit and manage accordingly. Okay guys, this is one of the type of writing task 1 which I have taken as an example. I'll keep on posting different types on my website, and even I'm ready to mark your writing task 1 on my Facebook group.